Welcome to this latest episode of Embedded Finance Unplugged, the podcast series from Andaria that is exploring the world of embedded finance, the disruptive fintech sector that is on course to reach a multi-billion value over the next decade. Now, I'm here today with Kevin McAdam, who I spoke to, must have been about 18 months ago. He was then Director of Cards at Andaria. He's now the UK CEO. Kevin, first of all, congratulations on that promotion. It's great to see you again. Well, let's start with that. I mean, how has the business changed since we last spoke and since you pivoted to embedded finance back in 2024, was it?
That's correct, yes. So the company has obviously been developing its solution. There's been expansion around the technology, around the API stack, and building out the proposition, building out the overall product. As well as that, we've also expanded our scheme network. We've now got the Visa principal membership, which complements obviously the fact we've got MasterCard and Discover as well. And so we've also been looking at how can we develop other parts of the product solution. So we have looked at our role in crypto, how we can actually support companies from a crypto position. So there's been quite a number of different things that have happened. As well as that, we've continued to obviously make sure that our regulation and our processes and procedures are very strong and tight. We've been building the product, making sure that the solution is scalable and robust, and obviously making sure that we've got a whole suite of services that will naturally fit perfectly under that embedded finance proposition.
Well, let's talk about the embedded finance sector as a whole, because it's quite a crowded market now, isn't it? What do you see as Andaria's key differentiator?
Well, I think first of all is our broad solutions. Okay, so we have business accounts, dedicated IBANs, an embedded finance solution, and obviously card issuing and card programs. So I feel that we've got the breadth of offer is quite extensive. But I think built on that, though, is the fact that, we have regulatory elements through 2 jurisdictions. So that means that, we have to go through policies and procedures to make sure that what we offer is very robust and scalable. Then, of course, we are now operating with 3 schemes, and that in itself is a credible position to be. You have to go through extensive processes to be part of the scheme network. So that demonstrates to clients that we're very strong on making sure that we are compliant. And then I think the other thing is that we're experienced across UK and Europe. We're providing dedicated bins, and we're able to also offer bin sponsorship. So I think coupled with all of those things, I think we're offering a robust, scalable solution.
You mentioned those 3 schemes there. Let's pick up on that. So obviously MasterCard, Discover, and now Visa. So how is Visa going to be a real game changer? What's that going to bring to the table now you have those 3 schemes?
Well, Visa is obviously, an important global operator. And again, it helps to sort of complement the relationship we already have with MasterCard and Discover. But they also offer, value-added services that we can actually build on. And there's a number of things that, they provide that we would be able to add to our proposition. Now, we've also entered into an incentive agreement with them. So that actually helps us to look at developing solutions also with other Visa companies, but also other Visa clients. So we have a position at the moment where we're looking at a sports solution, and that was very much developed through Visa, bringing a client to us that was was good synergy with us in terms of in that particular market.
So it's really more, obviously the association with Visa, obviously everybody knows who Visa is, but it's that opening of doors as well that's key to Andaria, is it?
Very much so, yes. To be have that as part of your suite of services and have that recognised is really powerful, because you're in the payments industry. People expect that you would have that sort of backing to be able to then provide a really qualified and scalable, robust card program.
Now, of course, Being with Visa also gives you access to Visa Token Service. So I'm keen to know how important tokenisation is to your product strategy as a whole.
It's essential. It's paramount now to the way that customers are paying. So obviously tokenisation in very simple terms is enabling customers to be able to pay by Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay, other sort of various arrangements. And what Visa tokenisation service does for us as part of their value-added services is that we're obviously able to build that into our proposition. So it's a really important element to customers and clients who will want to see this as part of their natural program.
I guess it's almost essential to have that tokenisation nowadays, because if you think about the way people pay for things, it is largely with their phone, through the wallets on their phone, isn't it?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's, people have gone, they're using mobiles now much stronger. They still use cards, but of course, Apple Pay and Google Pay are seen sometimes as the natural default now. So it is an essential requirement.
Well, that's the interesting point though, isn't it? Because it's always linked back to a card. So we think this is, kind of enhanced technology, which of course it is, but your wallet on your phone still links back to your debit or credit card, doesn't it?
That's correct. So everything's going back to your bank account at the end of the day. But the key thing is what you're doing is enabling customers who are using your card program to have choice. Because that's absolutely essential. If they don't want to use a card, they can use Apple Pay or Google Pay. Years ago, ATMs was quite seen as quite new, but now it's like people do everything instantly, and that's become more and more apparent as we're moving, developing the payment solutions.
Embedded finance is really what Andaria is all about, I guess. You're probably best placed, or one of the best placed people in the industry, to talk about where that space might be going. How do you see it evolving over the next 2 to 3 years?
Well, I think it's continuing to evolve at quite a rapid pace. Customers are expecting more seamless. They're expecting richer functionality in their solutions. So they're looking for you to not only provide the regulatory expertise, cutting edge technology, but also, to give you a really robust and strong solution, because it's very important to have a very strong product, but also equally important to make sure that you've got a really robust and infrastructure behind that, to support what is actually required from the card program.
Excellent. Now, as I mentioned at the top of the interview, you're now the UK CEO of Andaria. What excites you most about this business?
Well, I think I just think it's the sheer opportunity we have. When I joined the company, we were very strong with compliance. It was a bedrock of how the company was set up. And, over the last couple of years, we've really developed our solution, our proposition. We've got out into the marketplace. As referenced earlier on, we've got 2 regulatory elements to think about. So that in itself is very important for, showing how important you are to the industry and how important you are to clients. Having the schemes. I mean, we're in a really strong position now with a portfolio that's strong on regulation, strong on tech, and strong on product.
Sounds like you build an excellent foundation, and I guess now it's about kicking on and going into those next phases. So, Kevin, it's always great to sit down with you and hear the latest Andaria news. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Graham. Thanks for the opportunity.